as you guys heard, my name is Nakia. I am here to talk to you about marketing and branding from a promotion perspective. As Matt introduced, I am the promoter of Muay Thai League, or MTL as we more call it these days. We started in 2021 and we quickly became one of Australia's fastest growing and leading promotions. And that's definitely largely due to our marketing and media focus. Quickly though, a little bit of history about me. I found Muay Thai when I was actually in the USA for 3 years. And I was 23 years old. I trained at Double Dose in California under Brian Dobler and started fighting under him. And then when I moved back to Australia, eventually I opened Double Dose Australia, carrying on Brian's lovely name, and did that with my husband in 2017. We founded Muay Thai League in 2021. Initially it was just because there was a gap in the market and our fighters needed fights. I was pretty tired of putting them on other promotions and not being able to keep them active. So it didn't start with a big plan except for to get our guys fights, and then it kind of rolled into its own beast from there. Today we've done 16 MTLs, professional ones, and countless other junior and amateur events, and crowned 31 WBC champions in that time, and our gym has 600 pure Muay Thai members. My proudest part of all of that is the pure Muay Thai. No strength and conditioning, no boxing, no jiu-jitsu, just Muay Thai. My main focus for Double Dose and MTL from day one has always been bring Muay Thai to as many people as possible so that it can change people's lives just like it has mine. And I'm sure many of you Muay Thai people can relate. You know, we start out, it absolutely changes our lives, and then we want to share it and bring as many other people into the sport as possible. So today I'm going to share with you 7 pillars of building a successful promotion. I believe that one mistake that a lot of promoters make is they treat it like a seasonal thing. It's an event, it's a fight show, and it's very individual. One thing that we did differently with MTL very early on is it was an all year round thing. So I really believe that it needs to behave like a cultural movement rather than just a fight show or an event. The first pillar is your values and your purpose. I am so shocked when I hear how many businesses, brands, whether it's promotion, gym, anything, do not know what their values, their mission and their purpose is. And to me, the best analogy is like, it's trying to get ready to train for a fight and you never worked out whether you're Southpaw or Orthodox. It just doesn't make sense. You know, if you haven't done this, if you're going to listen to anything I say today, it's go and figure out what that is for you, because every decision you make for going forward as a business owner, promoter, fighter, even anything that you do, will come back to what your values are. And it's just the absolute foundation for every decision you make. And leading on from that, as far as a promoter goes, everything I do, when I match fights, when I build my team, when I decide what colours, what logos, what the voice is going to sound like, what captions I put on my posts, everything we do comes back to what those values are if it aligns with that. And that's going to be different for everybody, and basically the way I like to think of it is no matter what I do and what business decisions I make, can I put my head down on the pillow at night at peace, knowing that I've done the right thing and that it aligns with what my goals for my business are. Pillar number 2 is visual identity. So I won't spend too much time here. I think Matt touched on this, and I feel like it is the fairly obvious thing. It's obviously important when you're building a brand, specifically a promotion, to establish a strong visual presence, and this is things like your logo, your colours, your posters. We invested very early on picking really good graphic designers for our posters, and to this day it's still one of the leading pieces of feedback that we get is that our posters and the fighters in particular really love that too, because it helps their brand as well and their marketing. Coming from learning Muay Thai in America, I don't believe anybody does sports culture better than the Americans. So we clearly have given a bit of a nod in our logo and our branding to baseball. So everything we sort of do, we've carried that through. Even from the name being Muay Thai League was pulled from that. So we had a kids show, we called it Little Leagues. So everything we've sort of done has always just been like a little bit of a touch on American sports culture. And over time, people didn't actually really click onto it initially, but over time, the more we did that, the more people sort of started to say like, oh, I like how you guys do that, I like how you guys do that. And that's just using those visuals to make sure our brand sends a message across everything we do. Number 3 is the broadcast. Now I'm going to show you a quick little clip. This is actually lower quality than the actual real thing, just because of YouTube, but it's just a 10-second clip. That fight was 2024's Australian Muay Thai Fight of the Year. Albert, who you saw on that clip fighting Rodlek there, his following went from about 5,000 followers to about 30 pretty much in a week. Now, do I believe that had we not invested in good quality broadcasts, it would have had that impact? Absolutely not. I have seen Rodlek fight in Australia a few times, one of them being a particularly also really exciting fight. Different platform, low quality broadcast, bad lighting, got no traction. Alright, so MTL1 and MTL2, like I said earlier, I didn't know what I was doing with the brand. I didn't invest in good quality broadcasts. To this day, pulled all the videos down from YouTube, can't use it. Can't use the content anywhere, don't want my brand associated with that level of quality. So I made the decision at MTL3 onwards to really invest in good live streaming, good graphics, good lighting, good walkout, and it doesn't just pay me back in the sense of the pay-per-view's enjoyable and people come back to watch the pay-per-view over and over again, but it pays me back in the sense of everything that goes on YouTube, everything that goes on our social media, everything that the fighters share, then passes that quality across the board. So while I see promoters make a short-term decision to save some money on the broadcast and maybe do less lighting or less this, less that, what they don't realise is the longevity that they're losing is not being able to use that content for the foreseeable future. So everything I decide about that broadcast now, initially it was at a financial loss, so it would cost me a few $1,000s extra to what I'd make back on the pay-per-view. It took about 2-3 cards, and then now that's profitable. Okay, so making that decision, I'm really glad that I did. And to this day, we still, when we do our next female card, we'll go back to the first one, MTL3, and we'll pull clips and we'll be using that in our marketing. So it's still usable now, years later. Number 4 is the fighters. So these days, as soon as you open your social media, unfortunately, as we all experience, we're being sold something. How many of you have you're talking to your friend about a Toyota, you open your phone, open your social media, you're being sold a Toyota. The downside of that for us with businesses and brands is that our pages and our business pages are less trustworthy now. The good side for us in combat sports is that our product is people, and people like people. Okay, so in social media world, the fighters are the product, and if you're clever about that and you leverage those people, then you can push your business or push your promotion through pushing the fighters' personalities. So I did a little experiment in Australia about 2 years ago, and I built my own Aussie version of Rod Tang and Stan. Okay, in Australia we call them Spainy and Lucille. And with their help, we pushed the narrative on them, told their stories, did a lot of media with them. I obviously had them fighting on my card. And really made a bit of a point and a scene of making these guys sort of the faces of MTL for a period of time. And with that, their fan bases grew, my promotion grew, and we all collectively won from that decision. Now people started associating them as MTL fighters. People started pulling them up when they saw them at other shows and wanting to get their signatures. They were starting to have a lot of like younger kids, you know, really, they became kids' heroes. And a lot of that was just because we decided to keep pushing their stories. It wasn't about the fight clips, it wasn't about the actual fights. It was about the more we put the content out of them, just being who they are, talking to the camera, telling their stories about how they grew up, all those kinds of things. That's what people draw to. We want to be inspired, we want to relate to people. So we have the best products at all as both brands, and that's heroes. And I think it's our job as promoters to build those heroes within our local scene. The other thing I will mention about fighters, which I think is super important and shouldn't go unnoticed, is just like in a gym, you have your word of mouth referral from your customers. Your fighters for promotions are your word of mouth. So how you treat them is the utmost important value. Now, I've had a lot of international fighters from all around the world fight on my show. Many of them reside in Thailand, and it's gotten back to me time and time again that the word that's going around in the local Thailand scene is that if you want to fight in Australia, to try to get on MTL, particularly if you're female. Now, that's not because they come on the show and they win. A lot of them actually have come and been knocked out or lost their fights or lost championship fights. It's because no matter what happens, win, lose or draw, the hospitality is good, the communication's good, I'm going to market them, and they're going to feel well looked after. That is the number one thing. It comes back to me through the messages that I get from, you know, such and such told me to reach out to you. They said that the best experience they ever had was coming on your show. They felt so looked after, they felt so cared about. It's just keeping clear communication. The biggest takeaway, run a smooth weigh-in. Fighters hate weigh-in days, and when you run a really quick, smooth, fast weigh-in and make them feel really important and get them in and out on the scales and out of there, they're very, very happy people. And just looking after them. So I think no matter what you do for views or social media, will never overshadow how you treat them behind the scenes. So fighter care is so essential as far as being part of your brand. Number 5, fan experience. So creating fans that you want to come back time and time again. This comes back to what's important to you. And you've got to put yourself in the fans' shoes and figure out what it is that they want. For me, I'm actually looking at, I'm not trying to keep my best mate entertained. I'm not trying to keep the die-hard Muay Thai fan that I know loves every single Muay Thai fight no matter what entertained. I want to keep the 15-year-old teenage boy so engaged that he stays till the end of the show and then he goes home and wants to watch it all on TikTok over again. So for me, we made decisions like really fast-paced matchups. I do a maximum 4.5-hour show. There's 2 minutes between the winner getting announced and the next fight. In that 2 minutes, music's loud, we have a mascot, we have ring card girls throwing out merchandise. It's stuff going on everywhere, but no one's ever not entertained. So we have trading cards that we make. The kids all collect them, they run around the venue trying to get them signed after the guys fight. All of these little things we do because the fan experience to me is what keeps people coming back. And over time, we've really been able to benefit from that because we do reports when people come, who they're coming to support, and each show it grows. More and more just say they're coming to support MTL. They're not coming for a particular fighter, they're coming for the show. Number 6, sponsors and partners. The sponsorship revenue can obviously be a lifeblood of a promotion. Just like your fans, you can be chasing one-time sponsors forever, or you can be building relationships that give back time and time again. In order for you to attract and keep sponsors happy, just like your fans, you need to figure out what it is that they want. Now, one of the biggest shifts that we made that's been really beneficial is I customize sponsorship packages based on the needs of that business. I've got one guy who'll never gain a single customer out of coming to the show. He's got big government contracts. He just advertising means nothing to him, but he's there for the experience. We make sure he feels so valued. He understands how important he is to us, and he gets the absolute gold treatment of experience. He's got the best table in the house. He gets to put the world championship belts on the fighters. All of that's really important to him. I've got another company that's a hydration brand. They want access to the fighters. They want access to athletes. So we gear everything in their sponsorship packages to them. So it's always just putting your mindset in what do the brands want, how can you give them a return on their investment and give them what they need, and not thinking about what suits us. Final one is content. Obviously this is very, very important. Obviously in any business today, content's absolute king. And investing in strategy is the best way to get the rewards. Now, like I said earlier, it's not just about an event. So we don't just invest in our content 8 weeks out from a show, go really hard, the show is over, and then you don't hear from us again. We post 3 times a day, all year round, minimum. When we're leading up to a show, we're posting 5 to 7 times a day, and that's across multiple platforms. We offended people when we first started doing that because it was too much. We just ignored them and kept going, and it worked. Now, the unlock for this is, number 1, you need to post every day, all year round. Number 2, there's no algorithm hack. Don't try to curate specific content because apparently it's going to get more likes. Just post, learn, keep going, and stay consistent. It's much more important than investing too much time and effort into a particular video and then it doesn't work. This video here was Spainy out the back hitting pads. It was just taken on a phone. We did it at the back of a show. It took our Facebook page from 5,000 to 30,000 followers, and most people were just talking about his tattoos and his mullet. There's no method to it. We don't understand it. So all the stuff that goes viral has been a big surprise to us. So just post, don't overthink, go, go, go. The other thing about this is accepting that it's forever. Social media is not going anywhere. It's getting more prominent. It's taking up more of our time. So the quicker as any business owner, fighter, brand, anything, that you can just accept that we all in some way, shape or form have to become content creators is just the world that we live in. And a little takeaway on that part from me is the best thing I did as a business owner who's busy. I don't have time to post 3 times a day personally. So I got a young gun content creator, hired her, she's on my team permanently, and she takes a lot of the data that we get, she just does the posts, and that's been the best investment I've made. I'm better off networking, talking to sponsors, matching fights, building a brand. She does the posting, and she can create a reel on an iPad quicker than I can write a caption, so it's much smarter to do that way. And in addition to that, to build data, my very last point, we have created a little content creator ecosystem at our show. I opened the doors to aspiring content creators, and then our reputation built really quickly like this. So when there's some young 20-year-old wants to get into content creation, maybe wants to make a living from it one day, they've got a camera, they want to come ringside, give them a ringside pass in exchange for the content after. And not edited content, we say to them, you can come, you can shoot what you want, you can have access to everything, you can go see the fighters at the back, do what you want. After the show, here's the link to Google Drive, you have to upload your entire SD card. Now that, for my social media girl, she has terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of content we are never going to run out. Okay, so we get free content, they get experience, they're super grateful to us. If they're really good and they come back time and time again, eventually they get paid work with me. If they show that they're really good and they're onto it and they're really keen and they want to give up their time for free, then one day I'm going to need an actual professional ringside videographer for something, or I need a special project, or I need some reels created for a particular fighter, then I pay them to do that. So the word got around with some of the sort of like younger social media kids. They all got wind of that, and now they come to me, can I come ringside, can I come ringside? I limit it obviously, but it's kind of just created this nice little ecosystem. Just like one day in the US, Brian Dobler opened doors to me. I remember to this day being ringside next to very high-level professional videographers and photographers shooting Kevin Ross vs. Sanchar with a crappy camera, and someone opened the door to me, and now I do that for others, and we all win. I'm done. Thank you.